The animal closest to the physiology of a rabbit out of all the animals dissected was the rat, since they are both from class Mammalia. They both breathe in air from their nostrils in through their mouth into the bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli to supply oxygen to their blood, which is pumped throughout the circulatory system. They both have a complete digestive system with a separate mouth and anus, and will have mechanical digestion in their stomach, absorption of nutrients and chemical digestion in the small intestine, water absorption and creation of feces in their large intestine, and excretion through their anus. Depending on the sex, male rabbits and rats will both have a pair of testes for production of sperm, epididymis and vas deferens for the movement of sperm to the bladder, and a urethra for the release of sperm. Female rabbits and rats will have a vagina, cervix for letting in sperm and assisting in the birth of the babies, a uterus to hold the embryos and babies, oviduct to hold the egg and sperm transportation, and the ovaries to create sperm. The earthworm, crayfish, squid, and perch all have complete digestive systems because they have a separate mouth and anus. They all use different organs for digestion. The earthworm uses the gizzard to mechanically break down its food, while the crayfish uses their cardiac stomach, one out of their two stomachs, to mechanically digest using gastric teeth. Both perches and squids use their one stomach. They all use their intestine to chemically digest their food, but the crayfish also uses their second stomach, the pyloric stomach, to aid in digestion. They all use their intestines for nutrient and water absorption, and the waste exits their anus. The earthworm, squid, and perch all have closed respiratory systems, meaning blood vessels are directly attached to the heart, while the crayfish has an open circulatory system where it is the opposite. Earthworm hearts are not chambered and have blood vessels running through their body which assist in their respiratory system. Crayfish have a single chambered heart due to not having blood vessels attached and relying on diffusion for blood to reach the heart. They have 5 types of arteries depending on the area within the body to exchange blood. Squids have blue blood due to the protein in it and has 3 hearts. One is a systemic heart, which pumps blood throughout the body, while the 2 branchial hearts on the sides of it delivers blood to the gills. Fish have a 2-chamber heart. Worms breathe through their cuticle on top of their epidermis layer, where oxygen and carbon dioxide is diffused into and out of the capillaries underneath their skin. Crayfish, squids, and perches get oxygen through their gills. Water flows over the gills, where the capillaries extract the oxygen in the water to use for the animal's respiratory and circulatory system. Earthworms are hermaphroditic, meaning that they are both male and female, compared to the crayfish, squids, perches, and rats, who all have separate sexes, male and female. Each of the animals mentioned have a high probability of finding mates because they form groups, except squids, who are solitary predators and hunt alone. Every animal mentioned except a rat uses external fertilization of the eggs, where the eggs are released into the water and fertilized by the male, while the rat has internal fertilization and gestation. Crayfish, squids, and perches lay a lot of eggs from hundreds to thousands, because the eggs individually have a low chance of survival. So it is selected for so that at least the probability of some of the fertilized eggs survive and develop. This is also because in the food web, they are all preyed upon often and so need as much eggs as they can to survive. Earthworms are similar, but they lay much fewer eggs, around 1 to 20. Rats, on the other hand, keep the babies within their uterus for them to develop and keep them safe and then give birth. They give birth to at least around 8 babies. With internal gestation, the baby rats will have a higher survival rate compared to the eggs laid by the other animals. The physiology of a fish would not support the metabolic needs of a rat because rats exert more effort walking on land than a perch swimming in water does, and therefore requires a higher blood pressure that maintains homeostasis, such as maintaining heat within the rat body. Because rats need a higher blood pressure than perches, the 2-chambered heart that a perch has does not pump enough blood throughout the body, which is why rats have a 4-chambered heart that gives more blood circulation.